Oh, wow.
I'm so happy to see what is about to unfold in front of us right now. It's time to enter the danger zone.
That's cool. Look at that.
Fantasy season is quickly approaching, which means that you'll need all the help that you can get before draft night. It just so happens that we have the perfect wingman for you, who will help take your team to the next level, to new heights in 2022. It's Jason and I. It's our first time having Adam Rank on with us, and the fact that this is what we are being gifted, it feels like a true present. Adam, I can't not look at your outfit, but I'm going to focus on the football man because it's what the people want.
It's all about the football.
Position.
No gimmicks.
No. Which fantasy quarterback do you believe will cause the most, wreak the most havoc in 2022?
Well, Jamie, by the way, first of all, I got to give you a code name. Everybody, as you know, your radio or your radar interceptor always has to have a code name. So I'm going to call you Dr. J. For your hoop skills, I feel like it's just the most appropriate way to go. And we're going to talk about a quarterback right now who's not Iceman, but he's a nice man. We're going to be talking about Kirk Cousins. This is a guy that continues to get slept on both in real football and fantasy football. Last season, went out there, had a pretty good year, 30-plus touchdowns, did not throw a lot of interceptions. And the big news was during the offseason, there was a change at head coach. They brought in O'Connell from the Los Angeles Rams, the Super Bowl champions. This offense could look a lot different this season, and you got quality, probably the best, maybe one of the best duos at wide receiver. Although, Cincinnati fans, I don't want to get you upset with me. But with Justin Jefferson, there's a lot of opportunity for Kirk Cousins. So if you're one of those people who waits on a quarterback, Kirk.
Teller under there? Wow.
That's right, baby.
I love this.
Rooster.
Adam, let's go to running backs. Every year there's some crazy running back that comes out of nowhere and ends up being in the top 5. Tell us, very serious tones, because we're not kidding around. It's not some gimmick.
All right, it's not some gimmick there, Freehold. By the way, all right, thanks, Freehold. That's your code name, by the way. I think that's cool.
Freehold.
I think Freehold. That's a cool name. Your hometown. I love it. I'm going to go with a magician, a Merlin, a Melvin Gordon. And you talk about players who come out of nowhere. There always are surprise running backs. Somebody, usually a rookie, usually somebody buried on the depth chart. We had James Robinson a couple of years ago. But Melvin Gordon has never gone anywhere throughout the entirety of his career. And yet, everybody acts like he doesn't exist. Everybody on fantasy football Twitter is talking about Javonte Williams. This is the year Javonte. No, this happens every season. And we have to tell you, Melvin Gordon is there. He is a very efficient running back. Last season, the statistics were very similar to Javonte Williams. And I think that everybody is wish casting that Javonte Williams is going to step up and be a top 5 running back. To me, I'd rather wait and take the discount and go with Melvin Gordon because he's going to be there for you.
What's your problem, Kazansky? You're everyone's problem. That's because every time you go up there, you're unsafe. I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. Rank, give me somebody who's dangerous. A dual threat guy. Maybe he's too close for missiles, has to switch to guns. Who do you got? Who do you got?
You goose thing. Listen, here's my thing, Philip. I love Kenny Gainwell. Kenny G, the musician who's going to be making some music back there for the Philadelphia Eagles backfield. I know a lot of people, Miles Sanders came out earlier this year and said, don't draft me in fantasy football. And I'm like, yeah, cool, done. Not going to do that. I look at Kenny Gainwell and his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. They came into this season with the expectation of throwing the ball a lot more. Last year, to make things easier for Jalen Hurts, they ran the ball, really relied on the run. But you go out, you get A.J. Brown, you got a pass-catching running back like Kenny Gainwell, and a guy who can also run the football, too. He had a couple of games where he was getting a lot of run, a lot of handoffs out of the backfield. I think he's a very viable player in the late rounds.
Adam, I'm kind of upset. You're a fellow bald brother like myself. I was expecting to have someone like me on the show, and then you come in with a great head of hair. Very upsetting for me. But let's not focus on us.
Get careful in here.
Yeah, exactly. I felt comfortable sitting to my left. Finally, let's talk some wide receivers. Who's a guy that's going to explode in 2022 that we may not be thinking about?
Well, Jason, first of all, I will say I was in Chicago this weekend, and it's very upsetting to see Brian Urlacher with hair. So I know what you're talking about. I know how disappointed it is. And your code name, by the way, The Ringer. which I love. The Ringer.
Oh.
You were coming in, you came in mercenary, got that one ring. And for my wide receiver, I'm looking for comeback. Allen Robinson, partly because of the routes that Matt Nagy made him run. But number two, what he is going to be doing in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, a town filled with redemption stories.
Or just us?
People who disappeared, and we thought we were writing them off, and then all of a sudden they have that blockbuster and they return. That's what Allen Robinson is going to do this season for the Los Angeles Rams. I think that everything that happened last season, you can just kind of write out to a poor execution in Chicago. So for me, I look at this situation with the Los Angeles Rams, an opportunity to go out there and put up some huge numbers. Look at what Robert Woods was doing last season. Bobby Trees was crushing it. And I think that even though Cooper Kupp is there and everybody wants to draft Cooper Kupp in the first round, that's fine. I'm going to be taking Allen Robinson a little bit later, and he is going to be a league winner.
Absolutely. I have a few questions. Do you plan these segments out weeks in advance? How many costumes do you have? Do you use things one time and then throw them away? Do you work backwards from the back of the season front? Like, you know, do I get to dress up at some point? Like, I have so many questions.
We don't want to pull back the curtain too much. This is kayfabe is kind of what ruined professional wrestling, so I don't want to go into it. But I will say there are bins and bins of costumes, and we did talk about this. They're like, hey, what can we talk about this week? And I'm like, oh, I've got my Top Gun jacket. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say Top Gun. Sorry. Movie about Navy pilot's jacket I have in the closet, so I was ready to go. The wig is always ready. The wig is displayed. Actually, when you come into my home, it's one of the first things you notice. It's on display. And sorry, Jason, again. I will perform all. You know what? I'll do it. I'll do it for you, Jason. I don't normally do that.
Oh, man.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh,
I love it.
the Ringer appreciates that
Yeah,
so
I love
much.
it. I
So
love
much.
it.
Now you're
Damn
the
it,
Ringer
Maverick.
2.0.
Not the guy.
Well, you can take your bins of costumes
Negative
and get
Ghost
into your
Rider,
ride share and go see that movie about planes.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
you're the best. I can't wait for the rest of the season with you. Thank you so much, man.
Oh.
That was great.
Ride share to go see a movie about planes.
That's right.
Navy plane guy.
Navy, yeah.
I didn't even know he was going for that movie.
All right, when we come back, we're going to check out what Von Miller has been getting sent to gifts at training camp. And maybe we're going to revisit a couple.